Right, thank you very much, Joseph. Some useful insights there, and as Joseph said, he will be with us in a panel session later on this morning to answer your questions, and I understand he's actually up on the chat now if you wanted to ask him some questions at this point. So we're going to move now over to the Adastral Park Innovation Showcases to show you how we can bring some of this stuff together and some of the innovation and how that can actually impact certain industries, in this case the healthcare sector, and it's focused around 5G and the use of haptics in the healthcare sector. So I'll swing over now to Shane Allum in our Innovation Showcases.
This next demonstration really talks to the art of the possible. What would be possible if you had a really, really strong 5G wireless connection? What would be some of the practical uses of that might help people and actually help in a real world situation to make people's lives easier or more effective? So here I'm thinking about our 5G connected ambulance trial. Now in this trial that we ran, we had an ambulance that had full 5G connectivity, which meant that it had low to near zero latency. So data could be transferred in near enough real time. And that took on the form of video, obviously, so that a remote doctor could see what was happening in the back of the ambulance as the technician was treating a patient. That also meant voice, so in real time to be able to communicate. And then came the really cool part. So we introduced a haptic glove. Now, haptics is the art of touch feedback. Now, wearing this haptic glove, I could remotely interact with things that aren't physically in front of me, and I could get touch feedback as if they were really there. In a virtual reality game, that might be quite cool. In this scenario, what it meant that we could do was, with our remote doctor who could see what we could see and could verbally communicate with us in real time, we gave that remote doctor a joystick and they could then guide the ambulance technician's hand and feel what they were feeling. Now, in this particular example, we had an ultrasound, and so the remote doctor could push the joystick to the left and guide the ambulance technician to take a look over at the left and then help them to see that image in real time. Or if they wanted to have a look over to the right, they could push the joystick to the right and it would guide them in that direction. Now, this is obviously quite a simple procedure, but it speaks to the idea of taking something that was intrinsically done in a hospital before, and now we can put it out on the road. So rather than having to visit a hospital to have an ultrasound, suddenly that can happen wherever you are. Suddenly we've augmented the intelligence of our workforce, our ambulance technician here, to be able to take the treatment out further. Now, this is just a really simple example, but the applications here could be much stronger. If you could use those kind of networked capabilities together, well, the art of the possible might be that one day things like remote surgery might be possible, or more complicated procedures, or all manner of things that we haven't even thought of. The applications here are significant. It's just the use of different technologies that couldn't communicate together before, but now with a low to zero latency connection over 5G, suddenly that capability of that network and of those pieces of technology is totally changed. And so actually the applications here of 5G are that we don't know what they all are yet. Probably some of the technologies that will use 5G haven't even been invented yet. But by being creative now and starting to think about this now, well, maybe we'll come up with something that will be an absolute lifesaver in the very near future.